Hello everyone, good day. In this video, we are going to see the demo on ClusterIP services. If you like this video, please subscribe to vSpark's channel and click the bell icon for the latest updates. This is the agenda of this video. We are going to perform these steps for understanding ClusterIP services in this video. ClusterIP services. This is the architecture diagram for understanding the demo on ClusterIP services. Here we are going to create a deployment using a YAML manifest, and on top of that we are going to create a ClusterIP services again with the help of YAML manifest. Once these steps are done, we are going to access the ClusterIP services within the cluster and also from outside of the cluster. ClusterIP services are accessible only within the cluster and it is not accessible outside of the cluster. Step number 1. Access and inspect the Kubernetes cluster. Access the Kubernetes cluster using kubectl utility and check if the Kubernetes cluster is running properly. Just to save the time, I have consolidated all the commands in a notepad and the same is available in the video description. This is the master node from where we have connected to the Kubernetes cluster. kubectl cluster info command gives the details of your cluster. Now check the pods in the kube-system namespace. Here we can see all the cluster components are running properly. Now check the nodes. Our cluster is running with one master and two worker nodes. Step number 2. Create and apply Kubernetes deployment using YAML manifest. We are going to create and apply deployment YAML in the Kubernetes cluster. We are going to use Apache Web Server image for this deployment with 2 replicas. This is the command to create a deployment with all the required fields, and we are just redirecting the output of this command to a file called deployment.yaml. Once we execute this command, deployment YAML file will be created. We can check the command line references from the official Kubernetes documentation just like this. Here we can see all the kubectl command line references with examples. Coming back to the YAML file, just remove the unwanted lines in the YAML and make sure we are using the correct container images and labels. We can also check the YAML skeleton of the Kubernetes objects using kubectl explain command. To check the fields for the deployment object, we can use kubectl explain deployment command. We can also check the skeleton of a specific field. For example, if you want to check the spec of a deployment, just type kubectl explain deployment.spec. Similarly, we can check the other subfields as well. Once the validations are done, apply the deployment file. Once it is applied, we can see the respective pods are getting created. Step number 3, create and apply ClusterIP service using the YAML manifest. Just like how we created the deployment YAML, we need to create the ClusterIP YAML definition file as well. One thing we need to note down is the label of the parts. So we are just noting it down from the deployment YAML. Here the label of the part is app equals web server. This label should be the selected field for the ClusterIP services. Open the ClusterIP YAML file and modify it as per our convenience. Here in this ClusterIP services, we are going to change the name and the selected field. As we already highlighted, selected field should have the pod label, then only this ClusterIP service will redirect the traffic to those pods which matches the selected labels. Now apply the same in the cluster. Once it is applied, we will be getting a static IP address for this ClusterIP service, which will never change until we recreate this service. Here 10.107.144.47 is the static IP. Step number 4, access the ClusterIP service from or within the cluster. ClusterIP services are accessible only within the cluster, and so this connection is possible. Take the static IP of this ClusterIP service and access it using a curl command. Ensure we are using the service port number while accessing. Here our service port number is 8080. We are hitting this IP from our master node, which is part of our cluster. Once we hit, we will be able to access the application that is running in our pods. Step number 5, access the ClusterIP service from outside the cluster. Let us now access the ClusterIP service from outside of the cluster, and that should not be accessible. Open a command prompt and access the ClusterIP service using a curl command. Here we can see it is not accessible. Well, that's it for this lecture. Thank you from vSparks and thank you for watching this video.